So I recently got obsessed with this page on Twitter called Am I the Asshole? AITA. Basically, there are different scenarios. These are real stories that people send in asking, like, am I the asshole because X, Y, and Z? So I decided what I'm going to start doing on my channel is reading some of these out loud to you guys. We're going to give our perspective, and I want y'all to give y'all's opinions too. Are they the asshole or not? It's your girl Ivy, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time. And I have brought back one of my best friends, Kaila. She's going to do something new with me. So today's subject in question starts: am I the asshole for making my girlfriend pay to sleep over? Let's get into the details. I, a 28-year-old male, have been with my girlfriend, a 22-year-old female, for about a year now, and things have been going really well up until recently. We live in separate apartments and we're spending about one night a week together at my place, but recently it has turned into 3 or 4 nights a week. Now, don't get me wrong, I love having my girlfriend sleep over, and I could even see us living together one day. However, when I asked her to start paying $24 each night she stays over, she got really upset. I explained that all of my utility bills have gone up significantly since she started staying over more, and that $24 for one night in an $1,800 a month apartment is a great deal. Heck, I wish I got to live in my apartment for that little. Anyway, her and her friends think I'm being unreasonable, and her friends are telling her to dump me. I really love her and don't want to lose her, but I'm afraid of ending up in a relationship where bills aren't split equally, and I don't want to be with someone who just sees me as a meal ticket. I think it's reasonable to ask her to help pay for things now, and she's spending more time at my place, but maybe I'm wrong. Am I the asshole? So yeah. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend she has to pay $24 each night she sleeps over in my $1,800 a month apartment, since her presence has increased my utility bills and she's using my apartment almost as much as I am?
I got a couple of questions first. I had to take a sip on that one because, first of all, why are you spending $1,800 on an apartment?
Well, depending on where they stay at, you know what I'm saying?
That's fair, because we don't have that information. They could be in New York, or they could be in LA or something like that.
Yeah,
that's
Boston.
Fair. But I'm going to pretend they're in North Carolina. Why are you spending $1,800 on an apartment in North Carolina?
Must be one of those
at that point
penthouse type, ceiling windows, you know.
I don't even think Sky House costs that much. It actually might. I don't know. But nonetheless, I don't understand.
Yeah,
you shouldn't be charging anybody anything because you're charging yourself. You taxed yourself by staying in this $1,800 apartment.
Yeah,
or whatever.
He basically said they went from spending one night a week with each other to like 3 to 4 nights a week.
Okay, so what's the problem?
They're all at his place. Like, she's staying a lot more time at his place, and so now he wants to charge her to stay the night.
That's ridiculous.
To help combat his higher utility bills.
Even though you have an $1,800 apartment, so your utilities, I'm sure, are not going to cost that much. I'm sorry, I live by myself. I've had people over, you know, like my sister, my niece, they came over and they stay for like a weekend or whatever the case may be, and my stuff doesn't go up that much. Again, it could be different. I understand that. But I just feel like I'm pretty sure in the grand scheme of things, it's going to be very minute to what you're already paying. So what is her $24 really going to do? I mean, then again, there's other factors. We don't know what she's doing. We don't know if she's over here taking excessively long showers or something like that, or she's doing the absolute most. We don't know what that actually entails. But I'm sorry, from the looks of it, sir, it's you. It's you. And you're talking about, you're worried about, oh, that's awkward. You're talking about, you know, her friends are feeling this way, or whatever. First off, if you feel like you're going to be in a relationship where things aren't evenly split, that's what you want, maybe you shouldn't, I don't want to say you shouldn't be in that relationship, but maybe that's something that y'all need to talk about. If that makes sense. Like, maybe you should talk about it, because it seems like you are unclear of the type of relationship you're in. So if you have the understanding as to, hey, when we move in together, I'm interested in, like, we can go half or whatever.
Then you've set up
so
that.
You have a standard, a boundary, or whatever you want to call it. So you know what to expect. You've set an expectation.
Yeah.
But if you haven't done it yet, then that's a personal problem.
Not only that, sir, and just to be clear, I think you are the asshole for this, because I mean, you could simply say, hey, is there any way that we could spend some time at your place? Like, what is this situation? Is it a situation where you prefer to stay at your place, and for that reason you're spending most of the time there, and now you're asking her to pay more money?
Which doesn't make sense, because she has a place too where you can
right.
come over and stay
You've
too.
made it clear she has an apartment, so she also has rent that she's paying, utilities that she's paying, whatever, and that doesn't go away because she's staying the night with you, homie. So
not only that,
stay the night at her house a little bit,
or
grown. Just tell her, sir, tell her, babe, like, you know, maybe it'd be a good idea for us to spend some time outside of the house, spend some time at your place, but to charge her,
that's unreasonable.
That's
I'm sorry.
excessive.
That's if I want to say the end. If a male sat here and said, "Hey, I need you to pay X, Y, and Z," I'm going to go to my house where I already pay rent, and I'm going to stay there because it makes sense. This is dumb. And not only that, you're 28. You should be. What are you doing?
You're dating a 22-year-old. Not to say there's anything wrong with it, because y'all grown.
But 22, you're probably fresh out of school. That's what I'm thinking. I was 22 when I graduated, so I'm thinking fresh out of school. The money might not necessarily be there if she didn't get a job right out of school or whatever the case may be. So
instead of you being happy that you guys are spending more quality time, you're obsessing over your utility bill. What are your priorities right now? What are your priorities? Going back to what Kaila said, sir, if you already had an issue with your rent price, maybe you should have A, gotten a roommate, or B, found a cheaper apartment. Don't put that on your girlfriend.
Because that's a mortgage, sir.
Do not put that on your girlfriend.
A lot.
Yeah, that's
that's a mortgage.
Period.
Boom. Let's do another one, because
you want to do another one?
Yep.
Okay, we got time. Okay, we just gonna do the daughter disinviting her dad from the wedding.
It was a daughter. I thought it was in my head it was a groom or the male.
It was the bride. So she said, just to be clear, I got married in early February. I have always been very close to my father and stepmom growing up. I always felt like they offered me a stable home for me to grow up in. I never had that with my mother. During the last few years of my parents' marriage, my mother changed as a person. She was a happy and cheerful person when we were younger. She really changed after the divorce. She was miserable, and I felt that. I could tell she hated the fact that I preferred to live with my dad, but never verbalized her feelings. She has been single since the divorce and refuses to date other people. I always wanted to have joint birthday parties with my mom, dad, and stepmom, but my mom wouldn't have it. She avoided my father like the plague. I never understood her behavior and resented her for it. Quite naturally, I preferred my dad's household over my mom's. Anyways, right before my wedding, I was staying at my dad's. One night, I overheard my dad and stepmom reminiscing about how they met. Now, they always told us that they met 6 months after the divorce at a library. Turns out, they lied. They were talking about how my father couldn't take his eyes off her the moment she walked into his office, and how he wanted her from that moment on, and how he didn't care that he had a pregnant wife at home. Apparently, thank you, girl. Apparently, their first kiss was a few days after I was born, and the first time they had sex was on my parents' 3rd anniversary. I was only a few months old back then. They were talking about how difficult it was for them to continue their relationship after they got caught when I was 5. This was extremely shocking to me because my parents got divorced when I was 10. They were also making fun of my mom's weight. This meant that they carried on an affair throughout my parents' marriage. I remember my mom changing for the worse when I was in the 2nd grade. My mom always knew, and she never told me. I broke down crying that night and felt really guilty because of the way I acted towards my mom growing up. I had no idea she went through so much. I was cheated on by my first boyfriend in college, and it destroyed me. I felt horrible. That night, I didn't confront my dad, but the next morning, I packed my shit up and transferred the amount he had spent on my wedding. I didn't want his money. I told him I heard everything and asked him to stay away from my wedding. I left their house and drove to my mom's. I hugged her really hard, and we both cried. I had my mom walk me down the aisle, and I made sure my dad's family didn't attend the wedding. I didn't explicitly disinvite my half-brother, but he stayed away from my wedding, and I'm actually glad he didn't come. I don't think I want anything to do with any of them anymore. I've heard from the grapevine that my dad is on antidepressants nowadays. My grandma blames me for his depression. Did I overreact? I still don't want anything to do with him. My dad's family thinks I was and I am being cruel to him. Am I the asshole?
Nope. And it's funny because in the beginning, I was gonna be like, yeah, like damn.
That's fucked up.
Like, I thought that, you know, it was like mom doesn't want to be around because he has this new lady, X, Y, and Z. Once we dive deeper into that, you are not the asshole, sis. Because most definitely there were secrets and there's all this other stuff and all these other layers, just onions.
Exactly.
So no, you're not the asshole, sis, because that's a lot, especially when you didn't know any of that growing up, and you're over here. I don't want to say she was blaming her mom, but she, felt felt some type of way towards her mom. Clearly, there was
it was like she thought her mom was the bad guy, and she had no idea what she was going through.
And this is clearly why she is the way she is, as far as her mom goes. That's why she was being the way that she was, because all of this that she did not know. Right. And that just goes to show you don't know stuff until you really talk to people, or you know the truth and everything. So
it's really crazy. Yeah, like, and I think a huge part of that is the lies that her dad built, saying that they met after they got divorced, when clearly that was not the case.
Y'all niggas,
you was checking for sis at work while your wife was pregnant.
Y'all niggas in
your daddy is the asshole. And you know what? I'll even go even further. I feel like the subject line was kind of misleading because it said that her dad paid for the wedding. Sis sent that money back and said, "Don't come. Don't show up at my wedding. I don't need you or your money." That's fucked up.
And not only that, the fact that the grandma, obviously I'm assuming is his dad's, or is her dad's mom. Yeah, whatever. Obviously she's gonna feel that way, but like, did you not see the wrong that your son did? Did you not realize that? So y'all, hold on, y'all be sitting over here wanting to fight for your son when he is doing wrong. Y'all want to sit here and go to bat for these niggas, and y'all want to sit here and take up for them and all of that. No, you need to be I'm in public and I can't say the things I really want to say, but you need to be a effing woman and tell your son that he sucks and that he needs to stop acting the way that he is acting and stop doing things that he's doing, because it's not okay.
Or raise him in a way that he actually respects and honors women instead of treating them like disposable things. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen firsthand how moms will literally smile in the face of multiple women that their sons bring in the house, and that just blows me. That blows me. You are enabling your son to be out here cheating. Is it because you've gotten cheated on and you feel like that's just the way, or what? Like, I'm not raising any sons to be out here fucking up women's lives. I refuse.
It's like your morals are just as shitty as his. So I'm gonna need y'all to figure it out. Whatever that thing is that is making y'all be that way, y'all need to cut that, because that's not okay.
And stop saying, he's his own person, he's gonna do what he wants.
He's a girl.
You need to teach them to do better.
It's called guidance. Be a parent.
Exactly.
So that right there, no, don't sit there and blame the antidepressants on her. No, he did that to his damn self, because he's grown as fuck.
He's grown as fuck. His shit.
He's grown as fuck, and he can make the decisions, and he could have, came clean about X, Y, and Z or whatever. So you sit there and you live with that regret because you deserve it.
Facts. So no, baby girl, you are not the asshole at all. I'm praying for you, and I'm praying for your mom, because like, literally, it's kind of like her life stopped at that point. She doesn't trust having another man in her life, and that sucks, because I'm pretty sure she deserves the world, but she refuses to let another man in because of the bullshit your daddy did. Ladies, love yourself.
Hug on yourself, love on yourself, nurture yourself, self-care is a thing.
Yes.
Happiness looks good on you, sis.
It does. So those are our 2 for today. We will definitely be back. I know for sure I'm definitely gonna come back because I'm making this a thing. I want y'all to read what I read on here. And if you want to go to the Twitter handle itself, what is it? AITA.
LOL, you can't.
Oh.
What is it? Where is it at?
What is the @ name?
I'm new to Twitter, guys. I just got it back.
I mean, you just could have clicked on anything.
I could have.
It's
AITA _ Reddit.
And these come from Reddit. So it's the Twitter account AITA _ Reddit. If you want to go and scroll through those. If not, you can just wait until I post the next one. Thank you so much for watching. As usual, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.